Alright, so getting back to the London system, I want to look at, the first lines I want to look at are the most critical lines, I think, are some of the most critical lines when black plays an early c5. Again, remember that the main problem with the London system is this b2 square, so with c5, black is preparing a very quick queen b6, which I think is the most critical way of handling this, and white really needs to know how to respond. If you can handle c5 lines, you're in good shape. Okay, so e3. We've played bishop f4 second move, so we've actually saved the tempo. We won't play knight f3 for a while, and especially against these lines. Now, black has a few moves. He has knight c6, queen b6, and pawn takes. This video I'll go over knight c6, and then I'll go over queen b6 and pawn takes in the next videos. Queen b6 looks scary, but it's actually the least dangerous. It's too early. And actually, knight c6 I think is probably the strongest move in this variation. Knight c6, and now one of the advantages of saving the tempo from playing knight f3, we can play c3 immediately and prepare queen b3. And after queen b6, we do in fact play queen b3. And after c4, this might look familiar to you. It might look like the line where I said black was much better, because he has this move, right? And if white takes, black will take and win an exchange. But this is not the same position as the game that I talked about, because in that game we had the knights developed, so that after taking, we lose an exchange, and white cannot take this pawn and continue further complications. But since we haven't played knight f3 yet, against bishop f5, the best way to play is actually to take the bishop. So now black will take. Queen takes d5. And now black has a few choices. The best move is just taking the rook. And he also has queen c1 check, which I don't think gives him anything. So let's just look at queen c1 check briefly. Check. Alright, so white just has to go up with his king. Notice we're up a piece now, so here, check again. King goes up to f3. And there's a few variations within this. This is knight f6 is a mistake. Okay, just take and traps the queen, so knight f6 is wrong. The best move is just queen takes a1. Bishop takes c4, we're threatening this. e6, queen b5, castles, and after knight e2 and knight f6, you'll notice that black's queen is very awkward, and white's very well mobilized. And although his king is on f3, I don't think black can really take advantage of this. He's got no light squared bishop, and I would take white here for sure. But let's go back to the the correct move. After so now we take here. Okay, so now white is going to play an interesting move. He's going to play this. What's the idea behind queen b5? Well, first of all, you're attacking b7, which is nasty, because you do a double attack. You defend the knight, and if the point is if black ever takes here, there's always a bishop takes c4 with the tempo, which is pretty nasty. So black will play a6. After queen takes b7, knight d8. Queen takes a8. Queen takes b1. King e2 and e5. The alternatives are obviously weaker. Not obviously, but they're certainly weaker. Knight f6. f3, queen takes a2, is king e1, e6, and queen c8, knight d5, and queen takes c4. White is winning, so that's not good. And then there's also queen d3 check, which looks pretty natural, but after king f3, queen takes f1, and bishop c7. This is winning also for white. So, okay. So the critical move here is after taking this, it's actually e5. So e5, bishop takes, queen d3 check. The point is that he's going to do the same maneuver, but he's got this option now. King f3. And here, instead of playing bishop c7, which obviously doesn't work, white will just take on a6. If white really wants to, he should know that he can force a draw here. Right, so this move, bishop e7, bishop takes, check, check, and there's no way to prevent perpetual. So if you're playing a much higher rated player and you want to just have a draw, just play that variation. This is to play for a win. Check. King will go to g3. Knight e7. And we'll make a square for our king. h3. One way is better. Just do a material count. White is a piece down, but he's got 3 pawns for the piece. This king is not in the best shape. This pawn is very weak, and white's. I think the winning chances are with white here. If you want, I'll show you an example game. Queen d3. Knight f3, f6, a4 check, knight e6, bishop c7, king d7, bishop f4, g5, bishop e5. Notice that you can't take because this is a fork. Queen f5, e4, queen takes e4, rook e1, queen f5, d5, f takes e5, and d takes e6 check, and this is completely winning. You can't take back, obviously, because of, sorry, this. This all looks really sharp, and it is pretty sharp, but I've never had this variation in a tournament game. This is very unusual, this immediate. However, if you really don't like taking here, which is this is the beginning of the sharpness, there is you always have the ability to go back, which is better for black. Obviously better for black, but you know, certainly white has at least white has an easy plan, which is to play e4. You just play your knights, you know, you play for e4. I wouldn't recommend this. I think you should just, considering the fact that you haven't moved your knight, you should just take the bishop, and then this pawn will hang. But also remember, this is, I think, one of the sharpest lines in the entire London. Most of the lines I'll be showing you are pretty mellow compared to this. So